All right, this is a PN-Zeta 17 top horizontal pneumatic press by Zambelli. It has a 17 hectoliter drum, which is capable of pressing a little over 3 tons of destemmed and crushed grapes at a time, or about 1.5 tons of whole cluster grapes. Now, the PN-Zeta 17 top line is available from 14 hectoliters up to 100 hectoliters, but the operation and the features are going to be largely the same throughout the whole line. Now, there's a set of red cords that run along the top of the machine. These are connected to micro sensors at each end. So if these get moved while the press is in operation, it'll automatically shut it off. It's a safety feature to make sure nobody's getting their hands caught in here while this is turning. There's similar cords on the doors as well, which are used to both pull it down as well as lock it in place. Now, if that cord gets pulled, or if the sensors aren't touching, the press will shut off automatically as well. You've got your load-in doors here, or your unload doors here, that are perforated. So that ensures that the juice will drain while the press is taking, or while it's being pressed. And then you have a heavy-duty membrane with 4 drain channels at the bottom and outlet ports on the exterior of the drum. That's where your juice will come out. If we go around to this backside, this is where your load-in port is. Now, this has a membrane on it that's connected to a pressure sensor. So this will actually control your pump, sending power to it and cutting power to ensure that you don't overfill the press. And down here at the bottom is your collection hopper. Now, this has an electric float system as well, which sends and cuts power to your drain pump. So you hook your pumps up to here. You've got your fluid pump, which is what you'll be pumping out of the collection hopper. Then you have your must pump connected here, which is what you'll use to pump your must in for the press. We come back around to the front, we'll open up these doors and take a look at what's inside. So inside here, you've got your motor for running the press or for running the drum for the rotation. You also have your compressor and your pumps for inflating and deflating the press. Now we'll start this up, show you how to run the press. So powering on the machine, you got your main power switch there, you turn that on. Now up here, this is your mode selection switch, your mode selection dial. So all the way to the left, that is the automatic fill mode. I believe Zambelli calls it top up, but yeah, it's automatic fill mode. In the center, you're in manual mode, and then to the right, that's the automatic press mode. Now the rest of these dials and buttons, those really correspond with having this in manual mode. So right here, this controls the in-feed must pump. This controls the output juice pump. This controls the rotation of the drum. This dial is for the pressure or the depression of the pressing membrane. And this is the maximum pressure switch, so between 0.6 bars and 1.5 bars. So once this powers on, it takes about 15-20 seconds. You're going to see this screen. Now, whether or not you've got the emergency stop switch engaged doesn't matter. This is still the first screen you see. So making sure that the emergency stop switch is disengaged, next thing you want to do is hit the emergency stop power button. Next thing you'll want to do is go to menu, settings, which is the third option down, language, switch it over to English. Now, we're going to set this up for automatic filling. So you want to go up here to your mode dial, switch it over to automatic fill. Go to menu, filling. Now, to select which mode you're going to do, whether it's intermittent or continual, and then to change the parameters there, you select data. We already have it set on intermittent, and set RPM direction. So that's how many rotations counterclockwise it'll do. Set laps left, how many rotations clockwise it'll do, and then pause. So the amount of time that the drum will pause while it fills between those rotations. So it'll rotate twice to the left with how we have it set up right now. It'll rotate twice counterclockwise, twice clockwise, pause for a minute, and then start up again. And you also control the pressure in the membrane for the infeed port for controlling your pump here. So exit, reset. You always want to do that before you go to start a new program. Start. Go around the side. Like I said, the drum will start rotating counterclockwise first, then clockwise, and then it'll pause for 1 minute. Now, if we want the drum to rotate continuously while filling, stop, I go back to data, and we change it from filling intermittent to filling continuous. Now, when it's in continuous rotation, you change the direction with this button here. So right now it's set at rotating clockwise. You rotate counterclockwise. Reset, start. There we go. Now to set this up for pressing mode, automatic pressing, we go up here to the mode dial, switch it all the way over to press. We go back to the menu, new pressing. I see here there's 3 preset options: normal, slow, rapid. We can navigate through there. So we've got those 3 presets, and then there are 15 total available programs for you to set yourself. Now you've got normal, you've got mix, and you've got special. And we'll go into those custom ones here in a second, but first I'll show you how to set this up just for one of the presets. So you set to normal, select it there, and you go to select visual. So now you can see what's actually going to be taking place. So on normal mode, you've got 4 phases. Each phase is going to have, the first 2 phases will have 3 cycles each, and then the last 2 phases will have 4 cycles each. And what a cycle is that is when the membrane reaches its maximum pressure and holds it for a set period of time, and then releases. So here we have phase 1, the maximum pressure is 0.3 bars. The hold time is going to be 3 minutes. And then the delta for that hold time is 0.2 bars. Now what that means is, as you're pressing, the juice is being extracted, the pressure within the drum, or the pressure being applied, or the counter pressure from your material is being reduced. So when it drops by 0.2 bar, that membrane will reinflate back up to 0.3 and will hold for a total of 3 minutes. And it'll rotate 3 laps in each direction. The drum will rotate 3 laps counterclockwise, 3 laps clockwise. Now, phase 2, maximum pressure is 0.6 bar, the whole time of 5 minutes, a delta of 0.2 bar, and rotates 3 times in each direction, and 3 cycles, and so on and so forth for phases 3 and 4. We'll go back to exit, and, reset, and start. Now, at any point in the process, from any screen, you can select status, and you can see what's actually taking place. So you see we're set to normal, pressing. We're on stage 1. There's 4, or stage 1, there's 4 phases total. Exit, stop, reset, exit. Now, we'll take a look at these custom pressing cycles or pressing options. So we'll just go down to normal, and you select the yellow button with the pencil for editing it. So now you have the ability to set the number of phases. We'll just do 4 phases again. Oops. Enter. You set the pressure. We'll do 0.5 bar. You set the hold time. We'll do 6 minutes. Delta 0.3. Laps 3. And you can either set it for a time for that phase, so it will keep repeating this cycle or these cycles, or you can set the number of cycles. We'll just do 4 cycles. Now, normal mode, what that does is the press or the membrane reaches that maximum pressure that you set, so in this case 0.5 bars, holds it for 6 minutes. So it goes from 0 to 0.5, holds, inflates as needed, it holds for 6 minutes, releases back down to 0, and then goes on to the next phase. Or repeats that cycle 4 times, then goes on to the next phase. We're not going to save this. We'll go back, or we'll go in and we'll go to the special. Edit. So this screen looks a bit different. This has got a total of 3 phases. Now what this does is it allows you to set the maximum pressure. Let's see here, we'll do first we'll start with the delta, we'll do 0.2, laps 3, and then the steps. Now what this does is it increases the pressure in steps. And so you set, we'll say you want a maximum pressure of 1 bar. We'll set that there. Now we've got 6 steps to do. So first step will be 2 bars. Second we'll do 0.4. Third, do 0.6. 0.8. 0.9. Enter. So what will happen now is this will increase the pressure, that the membrane will increase to 0.2 bars, and it will hold that. What do we say here? 6, right? And then we'll set the time for the phase, 5 minutes, and then the number of cycles. We'll set this for 6 minutes. So what this will do is this will increase the pressure up to 2 bars, we'll hold it, and then we'll increase to 0.4, 0.6, 0.8, 0.9 until it reaches that 1 bar of pressure. We'll hold that for 5 minutes and then release, and do it again and again for however many cycles you set for that phase. Now, like I said, there's 3 phases on this one, and this is really what it's designed for. It's for sparkling wines. And we're not going to save this. We'll hit exit. We'll go back up here. We'll go to B, the custom program B. Now, this is a combination. So the first and third phases will be similar to the phases in a normal mode, where it reaches that maximum pressure right away, or not right away, but there's no steps. It's linear up to that maximum pressure. The second phase in the program will be like the special mode, or program C, where it's reaching that maximum pressure in steps. I'll exit here. We'll exit out of this. We'll go back to main menu, and now we'll run it in manual mode so you can see how this is operating throughout the process. All right, so we're set this up to run in manual mode. Go up to the selector switch. Now, if we had a pump set up, which we don't right now, but if we had a pump set up, we would use this to power that pump and would feed the must into the drum. And then we could select the rotation. So you can, have it rotating continuously. So we'll do counterclockwise rotation here. And that drum's just going to keep rotating until we go back and hit the stop switch. And we'll go clockwise, same idea. And we'll make sure we'll get this lined up so we can take a look inside the drum. Now, we've got the ability to manually set the pressure. We're going to lower it down to 0.6 bars. We're going to inflate that membrane in there. Now, this will continue to inflate. We would let it continue to inflate if we had fruit in there until it reaches 0.6 bars, and then we'll continue to hold that until we go back. And we turn that off. Then we depress that membrane and it will completely deflate. At that point, when you want to remove the juice from that collection hopper, go up here and you start running that pump. Now, God forbid something happens during your pressing process. You can't run this in automatic mode. You can't access that PLC. You can still run the press in manual mode using the analog pressure gauge right up here. So there you have it. Quick rundown of the PN-Zeta top presses.